Hey, yeah, just got back from a ride, hadn't ridden for 3 weeks, and was thinking about what bike do I take out with me today. So I had to make my decision, and it was really great to get back on the bike. And what bike did I decide to take from my stable? Let me have a spin around here, and there he is. That's my Triumph Scrambler. It's a great looking bike. Absolutely really like riding this thing. Why did I decide to bring this one out? I don't know. It's one that when I was away, I was thinking that, yeah, which bike would I choose to ride when I get back? And this one was always pretty much up there. So why did I like it? One of the things I really like is the 19-inch front wheel. It makes it feel really stable on the road. It's nice and well balanced, and it's a little bit like my V-Strom, I guess. It's like a touring bike or an adventure bike, in that it's got a 19-inch front wheel. It's a lot lower, of course, and if I'm going to be honest, maybe my legs are just a tad tight on it. But I wanted to go out for a ride today. I was going to go about 20 kilometres, and I finished up doing 120 kilometres. So that's how much I've really enjoyed this thing. Let's have a look at this. Fell in love with the exhaust, by the way. Check it out, just absolutely beautiful, and the sound is fantastic. If I bought a set of aftermarket pipes for a bike, and they sounded this good, I'd be really happy with them. I don't know anybody who'd want to change them, but hey, people are strange. Hey, just got off the bike, hasn't been maybe a couple of minutes, and that heat shield is really amazingly not hot. That's a little bit hotter. That's a little bit hot, and of course the headers would be really hot. But I think a criticism of the first Scrambler that came out was it got a little bit hot, but they've done some amazing work on this one. It's absolutely fantastic. There's that 19-inch front wheel, makes it feel really stable. I've got other bikes with 17-inch front wheels. Yeah, they're great, they do their job, but this thing's really stable over the road. Suspension needs to probably have a little bit done to it. We've only just got this adjustment on the back here. I could probably bump it up. It's on the softest setting, but that was okay over the bumpy roads that I chose to go on. And yeah, probably like a lot of bikes, it's oversprung and underdamped, but it performed really well on the bumpy roads. There's a famous bumpy road that I like to go on, and it handled it pretty well, gotta say. Certainly better than the Ducati, but well, that's a different thing altogether. This is the little SW Motec thing I've got on the back of it. What have we got here? That's the rack that came with the bike. It comes with a small pillion seat, but you can change it over for the rack. This seat, after about 100 k's today, I realised that I hadn't shifted around. It's made out of some sort of I think kind of fuzzy stuff is the technical term for it. But it's really comfortable, nice and flat, and the gentleman's components don't get too damaged at all. Sometimes you'd be riding along and you think, oh, the old GCs need to be adjusted, and you have to shuffle, but hadn't been doing that at all. Shove this little tank pad on here just to stop any scratches. Other side of the bike, they've got the fins on it to make it look like an old air-cooled motor. But I've got to say that the fan kicks in quite a bit when you're in traffic, and you don't have to be going through much traffic at all to hear that fan kicking in. So if you think it is an air-cooled motor and you didn't know it was liquid-cooled, the fan would soon let you know, I'm sure. It's set up to be like a Scrambler type thing, but I'll never use it as a Scrambler. No way in the world. You know it's a Scrambler because it's got the Scrambler thing. Oh, there's me. Hey, looking up here. Dash, yeah, it's a gauge, it's an acquired taste, but it's fine. I didn't particularly like it to start with. I prefer the 2 gauges, but you can scroll through. I'll just turn it on. Comes up, tells me I'm doing no RPM, so that's something that's on. Traction control, ABS is on. And what have I done there? I've done 847 kilometres. Going to put it in for a service next week, so I need to put a few more in. Apparently there's a recoil on it as well. And 240 kilometres since whatever. 847. Nothing there. That's the headlight thing. 3.5 litres, 71. And that gives me the time. It's actually don't know whether that's right or not. And back to no RPM again. That's the one I normally leave it on. Speaking of RPM, at 80 kilometers an hour, I'm pulling 2600. At 100 kilometers an hour, it's doing just under 3.2, so that's not too bad. Oh, it's a 5-speed gearbox as well. It's not a 6-speed like most bikes. Seems to be compulsory these days. There's your gear thing there. Only goes up to 5. N says neutral. So that's my little Scrambler. Great little bike. Probably one of the best bikes I've ever owned. I've owned some good ones. I'll let you know in subsequent videos which is my favourite. I'll put these on too, by the way. They're like the old style grips. I think they're Emgo, really cheap. They do a great job. Normally I put grip puppies on or something like that. While I'm here, I'll just go to this. Check this thing out. When you look, it's almost like they've got this hose. This is probably one of my only complaints. Well, aesthetically I think the bike's beautiful, but they've got this hose, and I reckon they've put this brake master cylinder right out there because they had a stock of old hoses left over from some other model. We go, how are we going to design this? I know what we'll do. Yeah, well, here we've got plenty of these hoses left over, Bob. We'll just put them on. And yeah, then they had to design this bracket. Why not just put it closer, put it out here with a short hose? Don't know, but that's just a minor gripe. It's one of those quirky things. What have we got here? This is the clutch. What have we got here, of course? Just wanted to say that I really like my clutches to be nice and light, and also to take up right near the grip, and you can do that. Brakes are great. Had to do a couple of quick stops today, and I chose to do a couple of quick stops. You know how it is. And that's my bike. I can, and I think truly it's one of the best bikes I've had. And as I tell you about other bikes, I might compare it to this one, but compared to some of the bikes I've got, this bike just sort of says, hey, g'day, there you go, what would you like to do, where do you want to go? Ducati on the other hand says, let's go, what are you doing, move on. So this bike really chilled back, didn't get up to any high speeds today. It was a cold day, but riding this bike really helped me to realise why I ride motorbikes. Great little bike, highly recommended. And from Lenny's garage, maybe I'll catch you next time. Remember,